Hey, good morning, everybody. It is a hot day in August, and I am headed to Sarasota. I got about a 12-mile stretch here on 60 heading south. And I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. The seller called me, and pretty sizable business. He's had it for 30-some odd years, 57-year-old man. And he threw some numbers out there, and I laid out a range of expectations, obviously with the caveat that I haven't seen anything on paper. And he said to me something that's pretty common, namely that, well, I could make that back in 2 or 3 or 4 years. And he was right. Businesses in the range that we're talking about do sell for 2 or 3 multiples. And what always strikes me about that is it's always a generation about my age or slightly older. It's always someone who has really spent a long time in their business, and their identity is somewhat wrapped up in it. The question looms over their head of, what will I do then? And that's, when you've done something for 20 or 30 years, the idea of doing something else is daunting and scary. So it's an unknown. But that never, ever do they realize the cost of their time. And never, ever do they realize that they will be different and the environment in which they may sell will be different. If we've learned nothing from the last 10 years of economics ecosystem, it's that things change really quick and can turn on a dime, and that the conditions that exist to take a business to market change. AI will dramatically impact that as well. Now, that technology won't impact this particular business, but an individual's health will. I'm 54 last week. I am not what I was at 44. Things start to hurt. Other family conditions start to change. Parents' health change. Children's life change. Grandchildren come into the picture. And your priorities will shift as you age. Again, an unknown. It's something that people don't think about, but it needs to be weighed in the equation of when you go to market. And you need to think about, and pardon me if I'm not looking at the camera, but I'm driving. It needs to be thought about what the liquidity event will do and what you can do with that money to create income. As you age, your children leave your home, your expenses drop. You automatically have more cash flow, and you're able to adjust your overhead costs to what your living standards will be and enjoy a period of your life. On a personal note, my father worked a certain period of time of his life very hard, retired, and then lost his eyesight. Did not get to enjoy a great deal of the fruits of his labor because he saved so much. Now, why did he do that? He did that because he was born in the Depression and he had a big household to feed. And as an immigrant, he realized, or he had this real overriding fear of not having enough to get through the tough times because he'd seen tough times. So I guess the point of this is that if you're considering an exit, you need to look at the totality of it, not just the economics of it. And I'd love to talk to you about it at greater length. It's a conversation you need to have with your financial planner, your family. A broker every year on a valuation standpoint should look at your books and have a discussion about the marketplace. But please make sure they're showing you the data that validates the opinion that they're giving you. Have a good one.